Marca! Dajem. Ja. Давай, давай, давай.
Heavy fighting between Russian and Ukrainian troops continues day and night in the Bakhmut district of the Donetsk region. Ukraine, which is ground zero of the most intense conflict in Moscow's war against Kiev. The situation on the Bakhmut front, where heavy weapons were used in both air and ground attacks, was serious, as can be seen from the intense activity of the Ukrainian army around the town of Chasiv Yar, which is located 10 kilometers 6.2 miles west of the town of Bakhmut. Chasiv Yar, where not even a single house was left undamaged, was subjected to heavy attacks due to its location on the strategic road to Bakhmut and was surrounded on 3 sides by Russian troops. Although most of the residents were evacuated from the city for safety reasons, those who continued their struggle to survive under bullets and living in shelters preferred not to venture out due to the danger of an imminent attack. While civilian infrastructure was badly damaged by increased attacks. Yud Mila said that artillery shells often hit the street where they lived, and they did not want to leave the house despite the danger. There were heavy attacks, especially at night. Sometimes there were so many attacks that we couldn't raise our heads, he further said. On the other hand, Wagner Group leader Yevgeny Prigozhin claims his mercenary force, flanked by Russian VDV specialist forces to the north and south, has captured more than 80% of the eastern Ukrainian city of Bakhmut, which has been the scene of the hottest fighting on the front for approximately 10 years. Ukrainian forces repulsed 72 enemy attacks in the Donetsk Oblast in the east of the mainland over the last 24 hours, according to the country's general staff. In their latest update, officials of the Ukrainian armed forces said Russian troops were not giving up fighting in Donetsk Oblast, which is the western part of Donbass, despite heavy casualties. The heaviest fighting in Donetsk Oblast took place in Bakhmut, a town in the northeast of the region, and the head of the Wagner Group, Prigozhin, claims they now control more than 80% of it. The Institute for the Study of War stated late on Tuesday that from their satellite analysis, Russia's control of Bakhmut was likely closer to 76.5%, while a full encirclement of remaining Ukrainian troops had not been completed. Despite this, Russia has continued to make small gains in the area after roughly 10 months of fighting. And on Monday, Denis Pushilin, head of the pro-Russian paramilitary group Donetsk People's Republic (DNR), claimed to have visited the city to prove this point. To the southwest of Bakhmut, Russian military bloggers claim that their troops have also advanced on agricultural compounds near Marinka. The spokesman for the Defense Forces of Ukraine's Tavrisk Direction, Colonel Alexei Mitrashkivsky, stated on April 10 that Russian troops were trying to seize Marinka in order to reach Kurakov, west of the administrative center of Donetsk city, because Russian troops were unable to take Avdiivka. Elsewhere, Russian troops severely damaged a building in the southern town of Borislav, on the north bank of the Dnipro River in Kherson Oblast. The after images show the many fires raging in the ruins of the buildings, which have been reduced to rubble. No casualties were reported. The Kherson region, the southern part of which was under Russian occupation, has been one of the most shelled areas in Ukraine. Russia's missile campaign has been in vogue following Ukraine's liberation from its administrative center, which was then renamed the Oblast, in November last year. Meanwhile, the Ukrainian Defense Forces destroyed 126 invaders, amphibious assault vehicles, radar stations, and several ammunition depots in the Bakhmut area in the last 24 hours, as well as 50 invaders, T-72 tanks, Orlan-10 UAVs, and communications jamming Jatel station in the Lyman area. Serhiy Cherevatyi, the spokesman for the Eastern Forces Group of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, said this on national television. The enemy continues to attack in our area of responsibility in the Bakhmut sector. In the Bakhmut area, in the last 24 hours, the enemy fired 230 shells from rocket fire, and 21 battles took place. About 189 invaders were destroyed. Ukrainian forces also destroyed an enemy amphibious assault vehicle, a radar station, and 6 ammunition depots, Cherevatyi said. The Ukrainian military rejects Russian claims it has captured more than 80% of the town of Bakhmut, and said Wednesday that Kiev forces control more than 20% in the east. Serhiy Cherevatyi, the spokesman for the Eastern Military Command, made the comments to Reuters a day after the head of Russia's Wagner mercenary group said its troops were advancing in their bid to seize Bakhmut after months of fighting. I just got in touch with the commander of one of the brigades guarding the city's defense, and I can confidently say that the Ukrainian Defense Forces control a much larger percentage of the Bakhmut area, he said. Ukrainian forces have been holding out for months in Bakhmut, a small town in the eastern Donetsk region, where the fiercest fighting in a full-scale invasion of Moscow in February 2022 has killed thousands of soldiers and is nicknamed a meat grinder. Wagner chief Yevgeny Prigozhin said on Tuesday that his troops controlled most of Bakhmut, including the entire administrative center, factories, warehouses, and city buildings.